Hi, do I need a light? Okay. Hi, welcome. One of the questions that I get asked the most in any of the times I've done like Q&As, things like that, is what my job was, like why I had a vulva pillow and, what my job is now. So I wanted to just explain. I moved to LA and I was actually looking to try and get into like makeup, specifically special effects makeup. And so I moved with like a full kit of makeup, and that was my plan. So my plan was to always be like in the background. The second I moved to LA, COVID happened, the world shut down. There were bigger things happening than, being upset about my makeup career not taking off. And so I needed a job. My roommate at the time had gotten this job, kind of like come across in her mutual friends, that a woman was looking for an assistant and that she's a sex coach. And she was like, oh my God, I have the perfect person for you. So I jumped at this job because I thought it was just going to be so much fun. And it was. I have always been a person who spoke really openly and directly with my friends about their sex lives. Like, we've always been very frank about what we were. Frank. We've always been pretty open about our sex lives. So it felt like a natural fit for me to work with somebody in this industry. So then I started working with Dolly. Dolly Josette, the Pleasure Muse, is a somatic practitioner. And the word somatic is, I think it's a Greek word, and it just means of the body. So she went through a specific type of training so she can like touch a person while she's working. And she does some really amazing work to help rewire the neurological connection between what your tissues are feeling and how your brain is processing that touch. And sometimes that's like by way of a massage. But for Dolly, what she has become really specialized in is doing vaginal and vulva mapping. That's something that you can do on your own in sort of like a guided way, but you can also have her administer the touch. And I know that sounds really confusing and strange, but I promise it's not like as tantalizing as you think it is. And it's much more of like a meditative experience. It's much more emotional, and a lot of the time the people that are coming to work with Dolly are experiencing, real issues. Like there have been some women who have undergone like radiation and have no feeling left in the genital area. There are women who've experienced like any level variety of trauma, and they may not have feeling. They may have only pain. So a lot of her work is meant to like sort of bring you from, let's say, pain to be neutral, and then take that neutral spot and bring you into a pleasurable spot. Like, this is so different than anything I was ever taught about sex and sexuality. And I was watching her take pain away from women. I have chills thinking about it, but it was incredible. That is so magical and such an incredible gift to give someone. And so it really changed so much of my life. Like, it definitely changed the trajectory of my life. So when I got on the show, I knew that sex and sexuality and sex education was really, really important to me as a survivor of sexual assault, and just as a person who now experienced what it's like to be taught about our bodies. Dolly had said, and I think it's in a video on her Instagram, that we're so worried about what's appropriate, but like, it's appropriate to know how your body works. It's your own body. Like, you should know how your body works. So when we finished filming the show, I knew that I wanted to immediately pursue getting my certification, and I did some research and I came across the Sexual Health Alliance, and I absolutely loved them. There's a lot of certification programs that were now virtual due to COVID, but the Sexual Health Alliance just had such like a modern updated take to all of sex coaching, sex education. And that was really important to me. I wanted to make sure that what I was learning was up to date, and I wanted to make sure that there was as little stigma and judgment involved in learning about the many, many, many facets of human sexuality. As a sex coach, I am not a sex therapist. I cannot diagnose anybody. I cannot give anybody medical advice, but I can give you advice and guidance on how to better your sex life with not only yourself, but with other partners. There's a lot that even sex education wise, I'm always shocked that we never knew. So it was also really important to me that I created a safe space for people who wanted to talk about different parts of their sexuality, and I didn't want anyone to feel marginalized or shamed or like they weren't entitled to happy, safe sex lives, because we all are. We are all entitled to that. I'm working on that certification. Technically, as a coach, I can practice now if I want to, but I am trying to finish that certification as quickly as I can. The certification process kind of has 2 levels of certification. So when I finish the program, I would be certified through the Sexual Health Alliance, which means I completed the program, I did their quizzes and their tests and their final project. And then there is another layer of certification, which would be through AASECT, which is the American Association of Sexuality Educators, Counselors, and Therapists, I think. That was right, actually. Wow. They are kind of the overseeing body in the US to make sure that we're all properly educated and keeping up with all of the new research, etc., etc. If you're wondering what it's like to be in school for sex coaching, just know that it's a lot of reading in scientific journals. It's a lot of research that I'm reading, which is cool because I really feel like I'm learning actual information that will actually help people. The training that I'm doing right now is actually the same program that you would do after becoming a therapist if you wanted to tack on the sex therapist part to your degree. You would do this training program that I'm currently doing. I'm just not pursuing the master's degree or PhD at this time. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back for that master's degree. So I decided to pursue the kind of coaching aspect of it. My dogs are about to go crazy and start playing. Anyway, I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason, and a lot of crazy circumstances had to happen to bring me here, but I really feel like this is like my life's goal, is to help create safe, healthy, happy sex and relationships for people and to educate them on how to do that. Anyway, my dogs are going crazy. Hope this has been helpful in getting to know me and a little bit of like how I ended up here, and I will talk to you all very soon. I don't know how you close these things, so goodbye. I'd like to say subscribe because there will be more content, but girl, I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't know. Subscribe if you want.